Hello YouTube and welcome to another episode of Angry Dave's Adult RC. I'm your host, Angry Dave. Anyone under 13 shouldn't be watching this, so get lost. Alright, this episode we're going to take the new Axial SCX10-2 F100 and we're going to personalize it a little bit and take care of a couple of little things. Like when you look up in the fender well here, you see a lot of that light tan color. So we're going to go ahead and get the inside of the body blacked out. We're going to do some color on the beadlock rings. We're going to put a fuel cell in it, some batteries. We're going to make this tire hold down look more like aluminum and less like plastic. We got a fire extinguisher, we got some jerry cans, and we got a few bits of paint, things like that. So we're going to scale it out a little bit, personalize it a little bit, and see what we can make it look like. So let's see what we're going to do first. So I think the first thing we're going to do is get the inside of the body sprayed. It's one of the most intricate things I'm going to do, so probably good to just get it the hell out of the way, and then everything else will be reasonably easy. So we're going to go ahead and we'll take off the string, take off the hinge at the back here so we can take the whole body off, and then we'll mask off the windows and the cab and whatever else we have to. Going to spray the back of this white to make sure that the color stays proper, and then we'll spray black over the white to black out the inside of the body. Alright, came off the truck easy enough. So now we're going to use the masking tape to create some new window masks, and then we'll go around the outside of the cab and mask the outside from the inside. Do as much coverage as we feel like is necessary to keep the paint off the outside of the truck. And then, yeah, should be pretty easy. Alright, all masked up. Time to grab some cans and spray. Alright, now it's time to spray some black. Alright, so while we're waiting for the white to dry, let's go ahead and get a coat of red on this stuff. Here we go, some nice shiny red pieces. Fuel cell, fire extinguisher. Alright, on to the next step. Now we're going to take some satin black and paint the back side of this so we don't have chrome shit shining out from the open wheel wells. And there it is, all blacked out. I think next thing to do is get out some white and some green and start working on these batteries. While we're waiting for a coat of green to dry, we'll go ahead and spray the tire hold down Took a little bit of sandpaper and hit the parting lines. Now we're just going to hit it with some silver. There we go. Polished aluminum tire hold down. Alright, now let's get back on these batteries. Still adding coats of white to the battery, but in the meantime, I painted the caps on the jerry cans. Alright, so after 10 coats of white, which is fucking ridiculous. I should have sprayed some white primer on this first. Painting white over black without primer is just plain old fucking dumb. But anyways, time to do the battery hold downs on the top. We're going to do those aluminum with a little metallic silver. Let's get on it. Alright, now we're going to do red on the positive side and a little bit of steel lead color on the negative terminal that's exposed, and these fuckers are done. Alright, so the batteries are all done. We got red positives, black negatives with an exposed terminal. We got the aluminum hold downs. I added a little bit of aluminum tape down the front so it looks like there's an aluminum strap holding it. We went white and green so they look like Interstate batteries. I like Interstate, it's a good brand. And now I think it's time to go ahead and put them in the truck. Alright, so here's the rear panel that the batteries are going to go in. Pretty straightforward. You just locate where the hole that this screw goes through is going to be, mark it, drill it, screw the batteries on. Not much to it. Alright, there we go. Holes drilled. One there, one there. When you're putting batteries in the back of this truck, if anybody wants to do what I'm doing here, these batteries are from a Traxxas UDR. They have an M2.5 thread in the bottom. So you're just going to come from this back wall, you're going to come in 11 millimeters, and from this crease right here, you're going to come in 14 millimeters. That's where you mark your holes, and that gets the batteries installed. Moving on. Awesome. There we go. Got some batteries strapped in this bitch. Now let's grab the grill pieces, and we'll clean up the edges of the body a little bit and get that reinstalled. Alright, we got the body back on this thing, and we're starting to work on the fuel cell. So we got the panel that the fuel cell is going to sit in removed from the truck, and we got the lines marked where we're going to cut. We're going to recess the fuel cell in this area here. I'm not going to drop it all the way down flat. It's going to be sticking up just a little bit. So we'll have to make a bracket that kind of runs under the fuel cell and bolts right about there and right about there. Not a big deal. And then we got the fuel cell. Oh, we had the fuel cell over here. Where's the fuel cell? Where's the fuel cell? Yeah, there's the fuel cell. All right. Well, we got all the red painted before. It's all pretty well dry and hard at this point. We just need to go back and do the detail work. And then we can drop that in and move on to the next step. Okay, so we got everything pretty well sorted out here for the fuel cell. You look on the bottom, we got a nice little sheet metal bracket made. Actually ended up just using Gorilla Tape to attach it. It's good strong shit. It's super light parts that don't need a lot of strength. And if it fails, I can always just put on some more. I also went ahead and prefabbed some fuel line because I like to plumb fuel cells anytime they're out exposed where you can see them. A little bit of aluminum tubing or bar or whatever the fuck you want to call it, some small gauge aluminum stock. Makes for some great fuel lines. So the only thing I got to do now is stick this panel back in the truck, screw it down, do the paint details on the fuel cell, and screw it in, glue in the lines. We'll get back to the fuel cell painting in a little bit. I need a break from the paintbrush. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this paint marker and we're going to paint the beadlock ring on the wheels, on all 5 of them. Gold, obviously, that's the color of the pen. It's always a nice little detail to paint your beadlock rings to match the truck in some way. I do like the silver wheels. They match all the aluminum and stuff like that pretty well. Plus, it's a common enough wheel color that you can match it with just about anything. But I'd like to bring the paint scheme into the wheels a little bit, and with all the different shades of brown going on here, gold should be right at home. So let's grab the marker and get painting. And there we go. Beadlocks painted gold. That was actually a massive pain in the ass. Luckily, it came out good because I had to fucking remove the tires from all 5 rims to be able to do that and have it look halfway decent. So, oh yeah, that sucked a fucking bag of dicks. So yeah, we got the handle back in there. Polished aluminum kind of matches everything that's going on. Got the batteries hiding down in there like they're supposed to be. I think it's time to get back to the fuel cell. Alright, cell's looking great. It's in the truck. Time to glue in the lines. Wow, that was a ridiculous amount of glue. Sweet, plumbed fuel cell. Alright, real quick, I noticed when you close this body, it interferes with the floorboard or skid plate or whatever the fuck you want to call this right here. So I'm going to grab a saw and give it a little trim. Beautiful. Now I'll do the other side to match, and that'll be all set. Alright, so now that the fuel cell, spare tire, batteries are all set, we're going to go ahead and add a couple of jerry cans. Here we got some nice jerry cans I got from Cross RC. It's only like $5 for the pair of these, and they come with a nice little rack that you can mount somewhere and shit like that. Pretty sweet cans. So we're going to mount one on each side of the body on the skid plate like that. Should be pretty easy. You drill one hole for the little alignment pin, one hole for the mounting screw that you're going to use. You use a countersunk head screw and a nut if you need it, and that's it. Nothing to it. Alright, here we are. Jerry can on each side. That was nice and easy, nice and quick. Not even worth showing. So now it looks like the only thing we have left to do is the fire extinguisher. A little bit of paint to finish it off, and then find a spot for it, zip tie it on. Alright, there we go. Got a gently restyled truck that's a little more personal to me, and cost practically nothing. I paid $18 for the fuel cell and the other crap that came with it, and had most of the other shit kind of hanging around. So, you know, it doesn't take a whole lot to make some subtle differences in your truck and make it a whole lot more you. There's a few things that you would notice if you stuck it next to a stock one. I mean, the bumper's moved in, the lights are gone. We got the gold rings around the tires. We painted the handle on the 4x lockers black. You look up in there, you don't see a bunch of fucking tan anymore. We got our jerry cans, fire extinguisher, not a bunch of fucking tan through the window. Got our nice fuel cell plumbed up in there. That came out pretty good. Got our batteries wired, spare held in with real aluminum. So overall, it came out pretty cool. I like it. It still looks pretty much like the truck that I bought, which is okay because it's a fucking sweet looking truck. You don't really need to change the look much. Just wanted to make it a little bit more mine, and I think we did that. So if you like it, go ahead and smash the like button. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. Share the video with a friend. Check us out on our social media pages, and we'll see you next time on Adult RC, where grown-up time is playtime.